Well, this week is almost a wrap. We are on a Thursday of the week, so welcome to this day's episode of automation. So all week long, we've been talking about how you can automate the repetitive task inside of your business. So if you missed any of our trainings this week, you want to catch the replay of those trainings. And today what we're going to do is talk about we're going to revisit the checklist and talk about some of the easiest ways for you to create and forget, or create and release, so to speak, these critical components inside of your travel business. And we're going to utilize the tool that I've been talking about all week long, which is Travel Pro Suite, to help you automate the things that are repetitive. No matter what you do, they're going to come. So we might as well get them off of our plate, for create the automation and forget. So for those who may not know me, my name is Sundey Gardner. And so like I said, we've been talking all things this week about automation. So if you haven't already joined our community, I'm going to invite you to do so now. If you go to onlinetravelboss.com/member, you can become a member of our community, where I have shared this checklist and other free resources that you can get for your travel business. So go ahead and join us inside of that community, because the replay and then also the resources are available there. So I'm going to remind you all what we've been going through. Let me share my screen, and then I will remind you of the checklist of items that you and your business can have. Let's get there. All right. So now this checklist is one of the resources that we've been going through this week, and we really went through kind of the process by which you can automate. I'm going to skip down to what we talked about earlier in the week, where there are some examples that are repetitive that you should have in your business and that you can do. So and I'm actually going to kind of do a show and tell, talk about it, and then show you where you can do it. This week, we've already talked about how to actually create a workflow automation from scratch. If you want to send an email to someone after they've maybe submitted a form or they've done an action, we went through that workflow this week. The next thing that we went through is how, we did task automation. So how you can create an automated set of tasks for yourself, get them assigned to you based on an event. We did that, I think, on Monday. Then the next training we went to is how to create an email automation. So somebody submits a form, or let's say it's a birthday and you want to actually send an email or a text message. We walk through how you can do that. So this is really in the area of client follow-up. So creating automations to follow up based on client actions is something that you absolutely should have already in place in your business. Now, if you're utilizing Travel Pro Suite, we have a lot of the booking workflow automation already designed for you. We have email templates and that kind of stuff. The other thing that we have in terms of client follow-up is if someone books an appointment, if there's payment reminders, we have all of those out of the box. I'm actually going to show you that really quick. Make sure I'm in the right account. I'm always good for being in the wrong account. All right, so what I'm going to do is show you in this feature that we have here in automation is where you actually set up the workflow. You set up the email, the text message. You want to send a message to your staff or yourself, a reminder, you set up the task. You do that under this feature called automation. And so out of the box, we've already talked about this. I'll just remind you that we have predefined workflow steps for travel advisors. And those workflow steps fall in 5 different areas: in the travel request, group trip, payments and terms, client booking, and then any results review requests that you do. You're going to find all of those automations in each one of the folders here when you get an account. You get a Travel Pro Suite account with us. Now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you in the client booking space what kinds of automations that we have. I think we may have done this the other day, but I'm just going to remind you. Things that are follow-up. Somebody books an appointment. You want to remind them probably 90 days before the trip, 30 days before the trip, 7 days before the trip, 1 day before the trip, the day of the trip, the day after the trip, to do a survey. That kind of sequence is what client follow-up is all about. We have that already out of the box. So I'm not going to spend too much time about that because I think I've already demoed that. pretty well. What I am going to show you is talk about the next thing, which is appointment scheduling. We have two standard appointments that we do in our business. We do, for me as a coach, I do several other appointments, but as a travel advisor, there's two standard appointments that usually occur in a travel business. One is a person wants to book to, you want to book a client to talk about their trip request. It's either maybe a group leader or an individual who wants a custom itinerary built, and they want to talk about their trip with you. You want to talk to them about their trip. We call that a discovery call. That's one type of appointment. The other type of appointment that you may have in your business is a follow-up. So after we do the discovery call, we go off and we get their planning fee, and then we go off and we build the trip. We actually want to review and do a follow-up review with them. So there's two different calendars. The other types of things that you can create inside of the system are calendars for, I do private coaching client calendars. If you do consultations with people, maybe there's a project, maybe there's something that's ongoing. I know several people that may do like their agencies, and they have sub agents that are underneath them. And so they may want to have a recurring meeting and have their new agents sign up for that. Those kinds of appointments can also be sent up. Who wants to remember to send a reminder to somebody, right? So if you've used a system like Calendly, or I think Acuity is another scheduling calendar system, those kinds of systems automatically send out reminders to your clients. We want to automate that as well. I want the automation of booking appointments with me to be seamless. I don't want you to have to call me, don't text me, don't smoke signal me. If you need to get on my calendar, here's a link. Go at your easiest convenient, find a spot, plug yourself in, and be done with that. Same thing in your travel business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you in the calendar feature that we have. So if you have a tool like Calendly, Acuity, you're maybe using just your personal calendar, you can streamline and automate the booking of appointments for you. And so what we do inside of, we have two standard calendars that we build for you. And all you have to do is make your availability known. Those are the discovery call and then also a discovery call follow-up. What we do as a part of that is we send automatic reminders. The minute you schedule an appointment or someone schedules an appointment with you, we send a reminder. We say, hey, thank you for the appointment. We're so glad that you're going to meet with us. And then we send a reminder the day of the appointment. We send another reminder an hour before the appointment, and I think 10 minutes before the appointment. People are busy. They forget. They may, and I am notorious for that. I will know that I have an appointment on my calendar. I'll see it on Sunday when I do the review of my calendar. I'll see it maybe in the morning when I do it, but then I get sidetracked and I forget. So being able to provide people reminders so that they don't forget and they show up. Don't think it's overkill. That also helps to guarantee that people are going to show up. It's another easy thing that you can implement in your travel business without having to have a high no-show rate on your system. What we've done in terms of automation is we've automated that whole workflow for you. So when somebody, I'm going to show you, when somebody books an appointment with you, what happens automatically is, I think we have this in our request automation, is we have all of these appointment reminders. So when somebody books the appointment, I'm going to kind of open it up for you so you can see. When somebody books the appointment, we send a reminder to them immediately. Once we wait until the day of the appointment, then we send a reminder 24 hours before the appointment. So what we've built here is we wait 1 hour, we wait 24 hours, we wait an hour, and then we send that last reminder. So that's something that you can have. When somebody, because inside of the email reminder, we allow them to reschedule or cancel the meeting. And if they do that, we put them in another automation, which is an automation when they reschedule or they cancel, we want to book them again. You don't want to lose. The follow-up the money is in the follow-up, right? So when somebody does an action, you want to have another action in response to that. Is that an email? Is that an invitation to reschedule? So the whole appointment scheduling it can be a bit of a nightmare from an administrative point, and you may start seeing, okay, I've got a lot of people who book appointments and they don't show up. Well, maybe it's your follow-up that you need to improve. And so having that already done for you or designed is really a good way to just sort of create, release, and forget. You don't have to worry about it. I don't ever think about, okay, did the reminder go out? Is somebody going to show up? Now, if they don't show up, I'll mark the appointment no show, and then an email will automatically go out and ask them to reschedule the appointment. So those are the types of things that you can do when it comes to appointment scheduling, automating the actual scheduling and then the reminder series. And then if they do any appointment types of events like no showing, canceling, you can send out email reminders to get them to rebook into your appointment. Booking confirmations, I kind of already went over that, but booking confirmations, that's a repetitive thing. Somebody books books a trip with you and you want to send them, we have the cycle of 90, 30 days, 7, 1, day of, and day after. I kind of say that by heart because that's really the way the cycle is. We put in there placeholders for 180 days and then also for, I think ours is actually, it's 90, 45, 7, and 1, and day of and day after. And then we put a placeholder for 180 days and then 30 days. So booking confirmations are a no-brainer, right? Somebody books with you. You need a standard email that goes out with the booking number and what they can expect, kind of what the communication cadence is going to be. We have that built out for you already if you decide to use our software. If you don't, you're using some other software, you need to have that sort of cadence. So you don't have to remember, oh my gosh, it's 7 days. Like, who's getting ready to travel? You already have that built in. Invoicing and payment reminders. Again, we talked a little bit about this here, but I actually want to show you the post-trip thank you. That's really the thing that I wanted to focus on today because I really think it's kind of slick. I was just talking to a client a couple of days ago and she got a review on her Google page, and AI, because we have a feature that allows AI to respond automatically for you. So I'm going to show you what we can do in that space because I really think I was looking at somebody, I was in somebody's group a couple of days ago, and somebody posted in this group like this really long, really good prompt. I think it was an AI prompt to help travel advisors create business plans. And one of the business plans sections was reviews and reputation, like what's your review strategy? And I think this is something that we probably don't talk enough about is how do you get reviews? You do a survey, that's great, but that's still private unless you publish it somehow. So as a business owner that maybe you don't have a physical brick and mortar, you do have a physical presence, an online presence, and you want to capture reviews. And so automating that process is a really good idea. So one of the places that you can do in our system, we have this section called reputation, which connects to your Google My Business page if you are lucky enough to have a Google business page, or if you have Facebook business page, which each of you all, there's no stickiness in terms of getting a review page. You get a Facebook review page. I'm sorry, you get a review section as a part of your Facebook. And let me actually show you what that looks like. So on your business page, so this is my business page, there is a review section. And this review section, we don't do a lot because we focus really on our Google My Business page. And we also show you on Google where that lives as well, because I think it's important. And I think you guys, like, turning this functionality on in your business is so important from an automation perspective. Turn on the getting of reviews and turn on the visibility of those reviews inside of your travel business. Everyone should be doing this. So let me just search my business. And so here's my Google listing right here. And then here are the Google reviews that we have that are here. So what we have in our system is the ability to connect to your Facebook reviews and then your Google My Business reviews. But what if you don't have any reviews? So this is where you can create and release, so to speak, where you don't have to remember to do that. So I'm going to actually show you where that integration happens inside of the system and then what you can do to actually just sort of turn it on and it's going to do it based on these particular events that occur. So here inside of the system, when you go to reputation and you go to overview, you'll go to settings, and the settings will allow you to do a couple of things. The first thing that you want to consider doing is actually turning on the auto response, which is a new feature that we've just recently released, where when somebody does a review, it will automatically, AI will look at the review and give you a response to that review. Love that feature. Like I said, I just had a client's account. It was in, and AI did the response, and it was beautiful. And I was like, "Did you do that response?" She's like, "No, I didn't." I was like, "Oh, that's great, because we turned it on." So this is a very easy toggle. It's available in all levels of the accounts to turn that on. So absolutely recommend that you automate the review response to your reviews. One less thing that you have to do, because as an owner of a business, you need to manage your reputation. You need to respond, particularly on Google, because Google likes that. They like the responses when you have reviews. So that also helps your SEO representation on Google. So turning the AI auto response is a really good and easy way for you to help yourself. Respond to every review that you get, respond positively. There's some additional settings that you can do here. We don't have any of those settings turned on. Not because they're not valuable, just because I want AI to do the work for me. Just respond to every review that we get, and if it's a negative review, we'll set up some additional automation to do something heavier, like you reach out to the client and that kind of stuff if there is a negative review. The other thing here, I won't spend way too much time, but this is the first thing, is like, do the reviews AI, turn that on so that you can automatically get responses. And then your review link, this is just what your link is when you want to send it out. But we're going to actually set up some automation so that like this is new too, this feature here where you've got review balancing, so that it's going to send out review requests for both of your accounts, which I think is really cool here. And then you've got these two features, which is where you can actually request somebody to do it. Like, so if you have a manual, like you want to, like Jane Doe, you were talking to her and you're like, you know what, I haven't talked to her, or she just gave me something and I want to actually ask her to do a review request. You can do it via text messaging and turn that on. You can do it via text messaging, or you can do it via email if you turn that feature on. And that's not turned on in our demo account, it's turned on in our live account. And this is what the request will look like. So you can set the subject of what that is. So if you want to individually send out a review request, you can do that through the system. You can also create a QWERTY code to allow for review requests. So if you want to put that on your website or somewhere, you can have you can generate a QWERTY code. I think I'm saying that correctly. And then this spam reviews, I'm going to turn that on. And again, this is my demo account, but you can detect, the system will detect if it's somebody who's spamming you, if it's a bot or something like that. And these are the types of protections that you want to have turned on in your system. And then you just simply click save to save everything. So now that you've got the settings on, let's go to the request section. And so here, I think I'm going to just go to my live account because I think the demo account has not been set up. So let's go here. So this will actually show you the, I'm going to go back to demo because I don't want YouTube getting angry at me. So here you can send a review request. You can select the name, and I'm going to actually just select my cell here. And you can ask it to, I'm going to do a review request here. There may not be, let's see if there's, let's enable that there. Review request. I thought I just turned it on. Maybe I didn't turn it on. Oh, I didn't save it. All right, So I'm going to save that there, and then I'm going to do a request. And what this is going to do is you can individually send out a review request to a person, and it will send them a request. So I'm just going to select my name here, and I don't think we have SMS turned on the demo account. And here I'm going to send that request. And so this gives you a running list of all the people that you've sent review requests. So you can manually do that. Obviously, I'm going to tell you, I don't recommend that you manually do that unless, of course, there's a reason for you to manually. What we want to do is we want to set up an automation that will automatically send out review requests based on events. So let's do that. Let's go to automations, and we're going to actually create a new, and I think there may be a review request recipe. So we're going to go to recipes, and recipes are just already done for you. Request, I think there's a review request. Let's see, there's not a search. So I'm almost positive I saw a review request. If not, we'll build it from scratch. Here we go. Recipe to send a review request. So if you select that, what it's going to do, it's going to build the recipe. It's going to build the steps of the automation for you, so you're not completely starting from scratch. Always start from the top, work your way down so that you have a name that's meaningful to you. And then once it finishes building this out, you will have the steps, and we're going to go in and modify those steps pretty quickly. What is consistent is when I do share screen, my computer just like gets really, really, really angry. So I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to go back and see if it will save and see if we can get it to. All right, so here's the draft of it. I don't think I shut down all the things I needed to shut down. This is a little painful, so sorry about this, everyone. I've been working mad. I think I'm going to have to start to close some stuff down. That in and of itself may be a little painful. All right, so I will have to probably do this demo another day then, because it's not opening, and for me to shut everything down is going to be really painful. Let's see if I can do that. Start shutting some stuff down. I was on a call the other day, and I did that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had to like shut. I had like all my memory, and my whole life was taken. Let me close some other instances down. I don't know about you guys. Do you like, are you guys people like you create stuff? You got like 50,000 windows. That's me. I have about a window for every thought I have. So that at least has 1,000. I think I'm a little ADHD, so I have at least 1,000 thoughts a day. All right, so I'm shutting some stuff down. Let's see if that's going to help me. I think that should help. Let's see if that will help. All right, let's see if we can get back into that automation. I don't think so, but when all else fails, let's start from scratch. Let's see if I can at least create a new one from scratch. Let's create a new one. All right, so I'm going to give it a name, unless, of course, it really is just my computer not liking anything I like to do. I don't think any of this stuff should free up some memory. Yeah. I think I have too much stuff open, so I may have to do this tomorrow. If this ever happens to you, my memory is not that bad. I think I'm going to have to reboot, ladies and gents. I hate the dreaded reboot. How about you guys? Do you hate the dreaded reboot? Like, I'm not able to do anything. So there goes that demo. So sorry about that. I will record a demo of this one because I don't think I've ever done a training on this. Let me try one more time before I give up. All right, one more time. Let's see if we can get it to open. Let's just create a new workflow from scratch. Not keep opening up new stuff. I know, Jack. That's the. I need a class on just how to manage my tabs too. Like I have at least, and I think I've closed everything I can. I just don't think it. I think my memory is shot. Like my computer memory is shot because I'm not able to open up anything. Let's see. I'm going to give it one more try and close this down. Let me also close Facebook down because Facebook sometimes eats up a lot of stuff. And let's add that. And if not, then I'll be back at it next week and I'll show you how to create a request for review automation next week if for some reason I'm not able to make this happen today. All right, so I've already created. Let's see if we can just open this one. Gotta love when, let's see, there's like 60%. I'm trying to figure out what I can sacrifice without rebooting, because if I reboot, I'll lose y'all. All right, I'm gonna close this down. And task. Let's see what else I can sacrifice. Just button manager. My Google Chrome is eating up 4,000 of mine. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's Chrome. And if I close Chrome, I lose you all. So I'm going to pick up where I left off. So Monday we will, I may have to let's see at my schedule if I can support an impromptu training tomorrow and sort of pick up where I left off here. See if I can bring back our handy dandy guide that we were looking at. Automation checklist, workflow checklist. So this is what we were just looking at. And so where we will pick up on the next time we meet will be on a post. We'll work on post-trip reviews. So I'll walk you through how to create an automation for doing a review request. So let's say after the trip start date, you could send out a survey, or you could maybe even, instead of the survey, go straight for a review if you're feeling comfortable enough with that. And that whole automation will be done on autopilot. We'll set the event, we'll ask for the review requests, and those emails will go out automatically right after your trip start date. So I'll show you how to do that on our next training. We are getting ready to start right now our office hours. So if you have any questions or need any help with Travel Pro Suite or any questions about your travel business, join me inside of office hours starting right now. And that is going to be at sundaygardner.com. Click on the office hours button and you'll get right into our Zoom link. Let me just remind you, if you are not a part of our Travel Boss community, you'll want to join our Travel Boss community. Let me give you the link right now inside of our comments. And then you can always join us at onlinetravelboss.com/member. And that will take you straight into logging in to our private community for travel advisors, where you'll get this checklist and more resources inside. You guys have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.